For Complex News, it's 360 with Speedy Mormon. I'm him, and today we have a very special guest in the building. Lil Nas X is here with us in LA. What's up, dog? How are you?
It's the crowd going crazy.
I heard it screaming even before you said it, but you just amplified it. Well, look, last time I saw you was a couple years ago, and you and I created, well, really you, I was just there along for the ride, but one of the most viral moments in the last few years on the internet.
That was crazy. I had no idea that was going to go that crazy.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what it was, you and I went to Ohio and we surprised some kids who were super fans of you, and they sang and you performed Old Town Road for them.
Yeah.
That clip went on to get hundreds of millions of views and was on Good Morning America. But I wonder, you know, for you back in that moment, right? Like, what do you remember about that time and just how different it is from this time right now?
How different? What do I remember about the time? I felt like it was just like a great moment of like growth, like especially like spending like a year or so or almost like working on music and like, I'm gonna make it really fast, I'm gonna be there, you know? And then everything coming so quickly, like kind of exactly what's happening right now. It's like a slingshot thing, you know, like you keep pulling back and then
Let go.
yeah.
So another thing that I remember from that day on set is when the cameras weren't rolling, you were like, yo, Speedy, I think I really want to get a dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? We're going to get a dog. We were in Ohio, a place that I don't know if you had ever been at the time, but like, bro, I'm convinced I'm getting a dog. And I was like, I don't know that that's a good idea. Your rep was like, yeah, bro, you definitely should not get a dog. And it just so happened that one of the employees of the store knew somebody who was selling dogs. I left, and then later that day, you posted on Twitter that you bought not one, but you bought 2 dogs.
Yeah.
What happened? Do you still have the dogs? Did you bring them with you that day? Like, what was the deal with that?
Okay, I love them to death, but I was in like a really crazy time, and I was always on the move, and sadly, I had to say like a couple months, maybe 5 months in, I was like, oh my God, I spend more time away from them than with them. And I had to give them away to this family, and that was sad. Yeah.
But like, this is literally what your rep and I were like trying to tell you.
Hey guys, I still do not regret those 5 months, and I would do it again. Yeah.
Well, since that time, man, we've made that incredible viral moment. But you know, since then, you are a Grammy winner. I mean, the awards, we'd be here for a long time if we spoke about all the accolades. Old Town Road is now like the most successful song in the history of music.
Crazy.
But at that time, you were still, it felt like it was very new to you.
Everything.
At this point, are you used to it? Are you used to the fame? Does it feel normal yet?
It feels like I have a better grasp of what I'm doing, you know? I feel like I'm more calculated in my moves and decisions, you know? And also I feel like more free and care less, you know, about, you know, what people are going to think about the move that I have to make.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that there's ever been a time where you forget that you're famous? Like maybe you want to go do something like run to a store or go to the mall or something, and that can't just do these things?
I feel like every blue moon. Like the other day I was like leaving from breakfast with my friend, and then there was like this kid, like he looked like maybe 11. He was like, Lil Nas X, and I like flinched. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh yeah. And then
I'm famous.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, what's up, man? You know, took a picture with him, and then yeah.
What are the biggest differences in your life now and like pre-fame?
Confident, I guess, in myself and my abilities than I was before.
And what do you attribute that to? Is it the commercial success? Is it the accolades?
It's the journey that the success has taken me on, you know? Yeah.
Changed after you came out on both ends of the spectrum, right? In a positive way and maybe in a negative.
I got some love. I got a lot of love. I got even more love, you know, because people love when you're being authentic. A lot of people that weren't fucking with me started loving me. A lot of people that were was like hating. So it was like coming in and going out at the same time.
When you say people that loved you started to show a little hate, is that like
more side eyes at award shows than before, and less like, what's up?
Or just
I was
music.
Gonna say, you think I'm gonna name these people?
No.
Always that they don't fuck with me, but you don't want other people to know that you fuck with me.
I see what you're saying.
What else? Because I feel like when homosexuality is presented within music, be careful with like the pronouns they say in the song. They're like, my lover. It's like out like that was far from what I planned on doing.
Sure.
But over like, you know, I'm still learning about this myself too, because I didn't know about the community like that.
Maybe the best way to do it.
I guess so. Same thing with music.
Yeah, you're in it and learning about it, and you have the most successful record in the history of music while still learning. So, are you in a
save face thing?
They wanted to distance themselves
They're
just
like,
for the sake of PR.
we had nothing to do with this, you know? I mean, it wasn't, they didn't have anything to do with it, but they never like speak on like when people...
Do you still have pairs of them?
Yes.
In the stash?
Yeah.
I imagine the resale price of these shoes has gone up because they were like eliminated. It would cause as much of a controversy as it did.
I promise, you know, as I got you. that's what got you down. Okay.
So then let's talk about the Montero music video. So this was another moment that was like everywhere, right? Internet, of course, trending everywhere. But then you're gonna get, you know, the conservative side of America and the Fox Newses, and obviously for some people it was deemed controversial, and for you it's just you speaking your truth and being yourself.
I definitely knew it was going to be controversial too. I wouldn't say that. I was definitely being myself, but I knew it was going to be controversial.
And so that's what I was asking. Were you to a certain degree, poking the bear, like, let's just push this boundary and let's mix it up a little bit?
It's kind of like with what I want to do in my career at all times, just kind of like make moments, but also have them mean something, you know? And that really like kind of emphasized people's view towards the community as a whole, you know? Because this is not the first time satanic imagery has even been presented within the last year, you know? And everybody's gonna pretend like it's more about that than what they're really talking about, or like more, that it's more about saving their kids and whatnot than what it's really about. Like, you don't like gay people.
Be honest.
Like, just say like, be honest, be 100% with it, you know?
Yeah. There were a lot of people that, like you said, were upset about the spiritual stuff, the devil and all of this, but you say it's really about them being anti-gay. Do you think, though, that there is some credibility or justifiability in people being upset for the religious aspect of it?
I can say yeah, but the thing is, it's cherry picking. It's really pick and choose what to be angry about. Because it's like, it's so much stuff in religious texts that you're not supposed to do. You pick and you choose, you latch on to the ones that you care about, you know?
And the other ones
you ignore everything else. And so for me, it's kind of like, you're full of shit, you know? You're bullshitting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you have these moments, particularly Montero and the Satanic Shoes, going crazy, going on, you know, getting played every 2 seconds on Fox News and on all of this, the Shade Room and all of this stuff, is there ever a part of you that's low-key like, yes? Because it just drives the views.
It's an adrenaline
way up.
It's an adrenaline rush, very much.
Like, just to know that it's like things are moving.
Working out on like a plan and seeing it work much better than expected. You know, it's like it's the same time every time. Like, there's that big moment, or like, yeah. Anytime it's that moment, it's kind of like, oh, here it is. I worked for this.
Yeah.
And then it's like back to the dungeon to work again and come back out, and it's like it keeps
in
life
and out.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like when you see, you know, all of these political pundits like spewing whatever it is that they're saying, is it just you like almost like laughing to the bank because it's like,
absolutely.
Keep talking about it. Go ahead.
Laughing into the bank. Absolutely. It's hilarious sometimes, because it's like, it's very much like watching like an episode of like South Park or something, and it's like these people are really taking this seriously or pretending to take it this seriously. It's like, that is funny, you know, like that's hilarious that I'm able to get you that upset, you know, and you know the type of, you know that I'm in control, you know I know how to get to you, and you still fall for it. It's hilarious to me.
You said something on Twitter, like there was like senators and like political people like saying things to you, and you're like, dog, don't you have like laws to go right, or like?
It's so like that's insane. Why are you a governor and you're tweeting this 22-year-old rapper, singer, pop star, artist
Like go
about
do
some shoes?
Like go do.
Like there's like, I think she's like in the state that has like the highest crime rate or something. It's like, where are the priorities at? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to watch that all unfold because it's true. It's like, dog, don't you have something better to do with this time? Like people voted you into this office, and here you are spending the taxpayer dollars just like on Twitter with me.
It's insane.
And hilarious at the same time.
Very
Let's
much.
talk about the BET Awards.
BET
It was
Awards.
another moment that had the internet in a frenzy. You, during your, or right after, at the end of your performance, I say, kissed one of your dancers. Did you know that you were gonna do that? Was it planned, or did you just maybe feel in the moment that you wanted to do it?
BET didn't know that I was going to do it, but I knew that I was going to do it.
Why did you hide that on purpose? Because you didn't want them
I
to
hid
try to.
that in case they were like, okay, this is going to happen, so let's zoom all the way out for this part, you know? So it's like, let me move like this, because I feel like I didn't even know they were going to actually let me perform, you know? So thank you to BET for letting me perform. But yeah.
One thing that was trending on Twitter that night was when the City Girls performed their Twerkulator song, every time they were twerking, the cameras zoomed all the way out. And so I guess it was smart of you to not mention it to them, because they probably would have done the same thing.
Absolutely.
And now when you knew that, when did you make the decision that you were gonna do it? And then what was your emotion leading up to that moment?
A few days before, a few days before it happened, and this leading up to it, it was very calm. It wasn't my first time kissing him, so yeah.
But this would be your first time kissing him on this stage, right? Like in front of this many people in person and the millions of people watching at home. Did you think about that at all? Like, oh.
When I first got on the stage, I almost shit in my pants. Almost shit in my pants. And it was for one reason, like, you know, I'm finna go out in front of all my rapping peers and whatnot. And it's also like, my auto-tune was in like set in the wrong key. Like if you watch a performance, you'll hit like, it kind of go into different notes while I'm singing in the first couple of 30 seconds. And I just had to like power through it. And it seems like a constant thing because every time I perform, something happens mysteriously. Yeah.
Was this like a literal shit in pants or like a proverbial shit in pants? Like, did you literally feel like, yo, my stomach hurts? Or was it just like, I'm just about to shit myself, I'm so nervous?
I almost literally shit in my, skirt. It was more of a skirt. There were no pants. Yeah, but you know, I kept it. I held it through. I pushed through. Good. I knew it was more important.
You didn't push through. You clenched through. You held it.
I clenched through. Absolutely.
Now, you said though, in your mind, you're like, wow, here are a lot of my hip hop counterparts. And they watched it live, and then there was like this conversation that happened afterwards. What did you make of the conversation that was happening in hip hop, online, and on television?
I was glad that the conversation was being had. Like, the conversation that a kiss is somehow controversial, like as if it's the first kiss that was ever seen on television.
Right.
And it just further exposed the actual truth of why people are actually mad at what's happening, you know? It's because it's two guys. You're not mad at anything other than that, you know?
We saw two women kiss on stage before at an award show, and the reception was different.
It was hot and it was sexy, you know?
But when you do it, not so much.
It's like, whoa. What about my kid? What about my kid who's up at 12 a.m. watching the BET Awards right now? You know?
Is that a sarcasm thing? Like your kid that's
100%.
up at midnight on a school night?
It's like why aren't they watching Peppa Pig, Coco Melon? Like, why? I mean, you've seen BET Awards before. They can get pretty crazy. So like, and that wasn't even crazy. It was a kiss. I could have done something much crazier if needed, you know. But yeah.
What? Like what?
I mean,
Now, obviously, homophobia in hip hop has been something that's been seemingly there since the inception of hip hop.
Absolutely.
What do you think it would take for that to be eradicated? Do you see that ever happening?
I think less of eradication and more of like being drowned out. Because I feel like as the generations keep coming, they become like more accepting and more
Right.
comforting of each other, you know? So a lot of the people that are just like super homophobic and whatnot are just like getting older and less influential, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll just one day phase out,
It
maybe.
just fades out. Like they don't have to stop being homophobic because it's like nothing they can do about it, you know?
Yeah, it'll just be prominent. You said when you were releasing your book that a lot of your fans are kids and that you're okay with that, right? Because you know that they support you and vice versa. And so I want to talk about your days as a Six Flags employee. When you were working there, you said that it made you feel like you were doing something good for the world.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that time? I feel like anybody who works at Six Flags had to have experienced some crazy stuff that has happened. Are there any stories that stick out to you? Maybe somebody vomiting off of a ride or anything weird that happened during your time at Six Flags?
Anything weird that happened in my time at Six Flags? I don't think there was anything ever like super weird that happened. The only thing weird for me was like me being late maybe 2 or 3 times and being immediately fired.
Oh, you got
was
fired
weird.
from Six Flags?
Yeah, I got fired. That was my first time being fired.
What did
it was
it
also
feel?
my last job, real job. So that's cool.
Thankfully, they fired you then.
Yeah, thank you, Six
But
Flags.
like how, you were only late twice and it was an immediate
I
situation?
think I was late like 2 or 3 times, and they were like, "Oh no, buddy! Like who's gonna mop the bathroom when people piss on the floor or something?" You know.
Is that what you did? I thought you operated the rides.
I operated the rides, but like you know, sometimes you do other stuff too. Like when I worked at Zaxby's and Taco Bell, like I did the cashier, but also cleaned up afterwards.
Right. So let's talk about the album. You know, you said in your previous music you've always played these other characters, and that this album is going to be the first album or body of work of yours that is just about you. Why did you want to go in that direction?
I want to step back on that line too, like that I won't play characters. 'Cause I still will play characters, but this album is much more personal and like much more straightforward in the lyrics and less like trying to be relatable and more like, okay, this is really what, you know? Like Call Me By Your Name, actually 100% a story that happened about a boy, every single lyric. Sun Goes Down, literally about my life. Industry Baby, literally about the situation that's happening like right now. So yeah, that's a running theme with this. I want people to get to know me more with this album, but I also want people to like feel like they learn something about themselves too, you know?
Yeah.
The message that I want to get out with this album is if you can, anything is possible, you know? That's what I want to get out with this album. But I was like too nervous to like, yo, what's up, Drake? And also they wanted to be like one of those things. I know like artists probably get tired of hearing like, oh, you're amazing, and I'll meet them in the right spot.
Yeah, and you'll maybe not feel nervous about it. You'll just word. All right, let's talk about Sun Goes Down. The video is you speak about having friends that made fun of you. You speak about having big lips, and something that you always get awkward talking about in interviews. But I have to ask is about Nicki. Was when I was standing Nicki, and then it was like a picture of a phone of you when you were in school or something like that.
Yeah.
That like kind of spawned a little controversy with Barb's saying that you were using her for clout and this and that.
And I can understand even why they would say that, but it's kind of like, because you know they think like I'm using her or whatever. It's more of I've literally dedicated like years of my life to a person, so me mentioning them in a song or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever, it's not me using them for clout. This is me telling my past. That song's about
your
my
history.
past.
Yeah.
That's a big part of my past. It's a big part of shaping who I am and what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
You have been honest about that now.
Yeah.
In the past, you were in denial about it. You thought that maybe that would be a way for people to find out more truths about you that you weren't yet ready to reveal.
Absolutely.
But I'm wondering though, have you and Nicki ever had just a conversation about it? Because I saw that she responded something
on
like,
Twitter.
like, oh, I'm happy that, but it was vague. It was kind of like, I'm happy that you were able to like find your confidence and your truth or something like that. Have
I talked to her?
Yeah, have you ever had a conversation with her?
Not in person.
Do you care to?
I want to, but you know, some people need their space, you know, and so if that's what she needs or whatnot, I understand that.
Yeah, but as someone who dedicated a large portion of your life to Nicki and you know, running a page that was like super successful and then like being someone who was very proud of it, now, you know, there's always this expression like, you know, meeting your heroes, right? Like sometimes when you meet your heroes, they're not who you thought that they would be. And not that you have met her in person, but now that you've kind of risen to the level of success that you have, is Nicki still the person that you thought she was?
Yeah, I mean, Nicki will always be like a hero to me, because that's what she does. Like, she's always been herself, you know, and she doesn't hold back on that shit. And I love that. You know, she still inspires me to this day. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Industry Baby. It's the new song that you, I guess, previewed 9 months ago, which I didn't know was a connection till right now. But 9 months later, here we are. The baby is here. You teased it today. It features Jack Harlow, who I saw at my hotel like 10 hours ago. But it also has Kanye West on the production. What can we know or look forward to about this song, Industry Baby?
What can we know and look forward to? This song, it's really important for like the underdogs, like the people who are like counted out over and over again. And, you know, that comes with being in the industry and whatnot. And I had to add Jack on it because I feel like Jack is very much in a place that I was in maybe a year or so ago, where, you know, like they've had this like huge hit and people have already like kind of counted them out and saying like, okay, you're this thing, this is what you are.
You're the guy that made that one song, and then now we're done.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a middle finger to that, you know?
Yeah, like saying we're gonna proceed and still be successful regardless of you thinking that we're just this one.
Whatever you think, you know?
Yeah, and Kanye West on the production is something that's always gonna be, you know.
With this, Industry Baby wasn't all the way finished or anything, and he added some things, and you know, he just all around just a genuine guy, like super supportive, very in tune.
He's always like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, you don't see him, but he is, I guess, aware of what's going on. Hearing your stuff, what did that mean to you as a person who's, you know, what, 22 years old, and
it was
what you were planning on doing at the BET Awards?
No, he told my
an advocate for the LGBTQIA community, right? I remember him speaking in an interview many years.
King of self-expression, and that's what made this even better, you know? Like no other artist goes out of their way and says what.
Does he inspire you to a certain degree to be able to get up there and just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna say whatever I want?
Yeah, anybody's feelings about what they may think of him, he's gonna say what the fuck he wants. He's gonna do what he wants, unleashed, you know?
What will it take for Lil Nas X to get to that point where you're like, I'm gonna say, like we've seen you just kind of like step into it and just be like, here's who I am, y'all gotta accept me, or?
Completely different person, I feel, from where I was 2 years ago. Yeah, and even 1 year ago. Yeah.
And what does 1 year from now Lil Nas X look like?
God mode. Yeah.
But what is, tell me more, God mode. God mode Lil Nas X is what?
Like, God mode Lil Nas X is
Lastly here, just the album, like what can people look forward to? When can people expect it? I know you said sometime in the summer, but
when can people expect this? Wait. I don't want to keep saying soon. I want to keep saying soon though. It's
soon is so arbitrary. It's just like soon.
But it's definitely going to be the summer. Is that like that's like a guarantee? It's definitely going to be the summer. There's little tweaks and plans that have to, you know, get together because I like to try to make everything as big of a moment as it can be, and especially my album because I've been working on this for so long and working really hard on this, and crying over this for so long, and it's like has to be excellent.
You said though, when somebody asked you like, and you were like, summer, yeah, but not late summer, like August, September, like it's coming before that. So here we are in mid-July. Were you just lying to us?
No, look, I'm gonna be honest and tell you what was happening. I was gonna release my album July 9th.
Okay.
This month. But I kind of like thought about it in my career so far. I like to plan things out. I like to slowly roll things out, get more moments, get more for my buck, you know, like when I was releasing 1 million remixes or whatnot. I want to milk everything as much as possible, because when you milk things, that's when it's ingrained in people the most, you know? So I rather have, you know, a couple singles with some videos instead of like dropping one single and then dropping my entire album and then move on.
Got you.
Because everything is very much a fast food culture within music right now. So it's like I want to slow pace my stuff out and give my best each time. Because it's to the point where a lot of people will just have like 1 or 2 great songs they know they have, and then just put a bunch of filler tracks on their album.
And then it's an album.
With that. Yeah.
So new music on the way, new vibes, new genres. God mode level, Lil Nas X.
God mode Nas.
My last thing for you, I remember hearing in an interview that you know, your pop said right when you started to pop off that you needed to work on your autograph because it was not good at all.
Did you see my autograph?
No, but I think we have a marker somewhere. Do we have? Yes, we need it. Has it gotten any better, or is it still horrendous?
It's still really childish.
Okay, well, just autograph right across the middle, big on this card, and then we'll show the camera.
Okay.
It's childish?
Okay. Here we go.
That's not it. No way.
I'm serious.
That is not your autograph. Let's get a close-up of this. Is this really your autograph?
Yes. It's kind of cool because the star, it's like a star for the A, you know? Like,
I think you need to get back in the lab and just like practice.
Hey, you know, when you do your best, that's all that matters. That's my best right there.
Do you see this changing at all, or is this it? Is this cemented forever?
I think it's going to be like that forever, and then over time, you'll be like, wow, that's iconic, you know, over time.
I also, not to say that I'm somebody to give you advice on this, but I think you need something a little faster. Imagine, listen, paint this picture, right? A sea of fans. You release your album, God Mode Lil Nas X. Everyone can't keep their eyes off of you.
Yeah.
Here's 1 million people with photographs of you on the BET stage or whatever, Grammy Awards. Lil Nas X, can you autograph this for me? 1,000 people, you want to hit them all. This takes way too long. You need something.
Wow.
You
know what? You just changed the trajectory of my career. I'm going to make a new signature, and it's going to be like, done.
Here, I'll give you another chance. I hope I inspired you. Go for it.
I can't do it.
Just
right,
do something. Just whatever comes to mind. Just get right. Give me some flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's just like, let me think.
Go for it.
Okay, it's going to be an X, right? And then like, and then there's like a star. You see? You guys don't like it. You guys don't like it. You don't like it, but it's like an X, and then it goes off into
X into a star. We'll work on it, but it's better and faster. I hope that the next time that we link up, you'll have another major hit, a major album, but most importantly, a better autograph.
All those things will be true.
I love that. Lil Nas X, thank you so much for taking the time, bro. Appreciate you.
Man. Next time.
See you soon.
See you. Should I like fake get up or really get up?
I think we can just end it there.